Thanks everyone for being here today and celebrating with us. It's a real privilege and an honor. I'm going to talk to you today about a group of quiet professionals of which I am a part. So let's get started. So my story begins the way a great story should, in Chamonix, France, glass of wine in hand, staring up at the Provence, talking with my customers after a hard day of product testing in the great outdoors. Working in the outdoor industry is a pretty awesome place to work. And this was a fairly common work day for me. So how the heck did I go from being in the military to working in the outdoor industry and living a dream? I'm going to tell you a little bit about that journey. So I'm one of 6 kids. I'm the middle child, hail from Washington State, born and raised. Graduated from the Service Academy in 2001 and decided to branch into the Army Intelligence, but ended up actually doing a lot of logistics. I was a battalion S4 for quite a while, and not exactly what I thought I was going to be doing, but actually ended up being a really beneficial task to have. While I was in the Army, my husband was deployed often, and I thought, what do I do with my evenings and weekends? So I went to grad school and got a business degree. Decided to get out of the military in 2006 after being contacted by a small business based in Seattle called Outdoor Research. And they were working on developing a clothing program for military. And so I stepped in as an advisor on their team and their government program and started a really fun career path. In 2009, I transitioned over to work for a company based in Vancouver called Arc'teryx Equipment to work with their LEAF team, which stands for Law Enforcement and Armed Forces. So those of you that aren't familiar with Arc'teryx, they're a phenomenal brand based up in BC, started as a climbing brand and has really branched out, ski, snowboard, hike, you name it. They're a fantastic company and very, very well known. So it was a real privilege for me to serve the military and work in the outdoors at a great company. In 2015, my boss approached me, so this would have been about a year ago, and asked me to step up as his director of strategic initiatives for the brand. Holy cow, big job. And really, I was pretty blown away. And at the same time, I thought, wow, this is kind of the culmination of what my family had worked for, what my parents hoped for me, my education, my passion. It was just almost too good to be true. So came home, super stoked, talked with my family, talked with my husband. He's also an avid outdoors person. And our kids, and looked at our life and this awesome opportunity. So a couple days later, went back in and talked to my boss, John, and just full of gratitude for this opportunity. I mean, it was absolutely a dream come true. And then I handed him my resignation letter. As we went through our sorting and looked at our family situation last year, I realized that this opportunity, while it was my personal dream, that I had a different call of duty at that point in my life. So, why did I leave? This is my husband, Matt. He's a small business entrepreneur. He founded a business in 2009 called Combat Flip-Flops in Kabul, Afghanistan, with the mission of manufacturing peace through trade. Very noble mission that we believe in as a family. And spring of 2015, the small business hustle, he was really at the kind of the tipping point of their business. And we realized that in order for him to be able to give 150% to get their mission done, that I needed to step into a support role, just like when he was a ranger. Had excellent support so that they could really get their mission done, and as a critical part of the team's success. At the same time, these are my kiddos, Estella and Amelia, 2 daughters. So here I am, a woman and a role model for them. And they're now 11 and 12 years old. So 4th, 5th, 6th grade transition, going through a lot of physical development changes, emotional development, self-esteem, self-worth, confidence, friendship, a lot of navigation that they're going through. And for the previous 9 years, I'd been traveling hard. We had live-in, full-time nannies who often traveled with us to make things work. And we just knew at this point in time that my call of duty was to be a force multiplier on the home front. And that was tough for me. It was tough to step away from everything that I had been trained to do and step into a job. I didn't go to school for child psychology. I didn't go to a culinary institute. I didn't go to finishing school. And yet, this was the task that I was needed to do. And I did it willingly. So I want to talk about women in the military and a little bit about them. And women in the military that answer the call to serve and who they are. They definitely are born to lead. And I spoke with a lot of my counterparts as I was kind of doing research on what I wanted to talk about. We were asked to talk about or mention a stereotype that we're up against. There was a common theme that most of the ladies I spoke with mentioned. And that is that when we join the military, we are faced with labels. And not Gucci and Prada here. We're talking about a very specific couple of labels that start with the B word. If we're in the military and we're a lady, then we're butch. There is a certain part of the population that gets labeled into this category, that we are masculine, that we are overtly male, dominant. Another stereotype label that we are sometimes faced with is that we are bimbos, that we are hoes or sluts, and people that cannot be trusted. This was really tough research for me to do because there is a representation out there, and for many of the women that I spoke with, it is very tough to be a part of the community when there are certain folks that participate in this type of behavior because it misrepresents the majority of who we are and why we're here. And then the third, if you're not butch and if you're not a bimbo, then you must be a bitch. And the vast majority of the ladies that I spoke with identified that this was kind of the label category that they accepted was where they were going to operate. So for me, it was really challenging to step away from my career because I had earned the respect of my team and the ability to do a great job based on merit. And so that was tough. So given these stereotypes, a lot of the ladies that I spoke with confirmed they become quiet professionals. They learn to shut up and to show up and to get their job done. So, what are we as women in this service? Born to lead, we are trained to win, and we have a heart to serve. We answer the call of duty with courage and with character. Born to lead. This is inherent to who we are. This is natural for us. We lead throughout our life, and in the military, both young and old, or older than us. We also lead other women, men and women, but particularly women, both in the military and in the civilian world. This is Kristen, an Army Ranger, one of the first women and fellow West Point graduate to graduate successfully from Ranger School. She was one of 2 women out of a class of 96 graduates that started with 304 people. Very proud of her. Born to lead, answering her call of duty with courage and character. Trained to win. Women who serve are educated, both through universities and also technically very, very competent. They're expert multitaskers. They know how to leverage assets. They know how to go through change management. And they're used to handling a great deal of responsibility, people, budgets, assets. This is Rebecca. She is an Air Force astronautical engineer and Rhodes Scholar, committed to making a strong difference in our world. She's trained to win and answering her call of duty. And heart to serve. I came across this gal, Kelly, and her organization, and I had to mention it because she's a local. Navy veteran, committed to a lifetime of service. Started an organization called Acta Non Verba, which literally translates to deeds, not words. Quiet professional, committed to serving her community and the youth to make her world better. In my opinion, women in the service are diamonds in the rough. And I like this statement. A diamond is just a piece of charcoal that handled stress exceptionally well. Women in the military are precious resources. They willingly answer their calls of duty, no matter what they are. They may not like the timing. They may not like the task. But they show up and they get the job done. They are quiet professionals. She is a servant leader. She can help you win. She is someone that you all want at the table. And she is worth finding. So seek her out. Thank you.